Our headlines today. Millions of households will face higher costs as increases in council tax, water and mobile phone bills kick in. But there'll also be an increase in the minimum wage.
Water companies could face unlimited fines for polluting rivers and the sea. The money raised would be used for environmental projects.
The Port of Dover declares a critical incident as coaches, cars and lorries queue for hours to cross the English Channel.
Tornadoes in the United States have caused destruction and several deaths in Arkansas.
Good morning. The Premier League returns today with a huge game at lunchtime as Manchester City host Liverpool, knowing their title chase can't afford an April Fool's Day style slip-up.
Good morning. It's been the wettest March in over 40 years for parts of the UK, but thankfully the weekend is bringing us something drier and eventually something brighter too.
The former US President Donald Trump is back on several front pages after his lawyers said he would surrender to a court on Tuesday. The Times says that he will refuse to be handcuffed when he makes his court appearance.
Financial Times leading on the same story, saying the case rocks American politics and is set to shape the 2024 presidential campaign. Now, The Eye is reporting that British workers are set for the biggest tax squeeze in 3 decades. Income tax and council tax are due to rise alongside utility bills.
Paul O'Grady, of course, who died during the week, his legacy is the focus of the Mirror's front page following his sudden death. The paper reports a surge in donations to his beloved Battersea Dogs and Cats home, which could reach £100,000 over the weekend.
And he loved his animals, didn't he?
He
Absolutely loved them.
did.
I'm going to pick up on that Lily Savage, Paul O'Grady story. Obviously, we lost him last week. There's this great piece in the Times. If you kind of want to know about the history of drag artistry, Mike, morning, you'll enjoy this. I'm going to introduce you to Dan Leno, OK? So Dan Leno, I'll tell you all about him. So he was a drag artist, born in 1860. Right, so he was the son of 2 failing music hall performers, and by the age of 4, he was on stage in like the Paddington, with his own act, Little George, the infant wonder he was called, contortionist and posturer. Right, performed in front of Charles Dickens. He had this amazing life, right? So he was one of the highest paid performers in the world in the Victorian era, and the word drag, he said, I dress up as a woman for financial purposes, nothing else. And the word drag wasn't even around then. And they reckon it came from the United States, a contraction of grand rag, which was the term for a masquerade ball, right? Okay. Anyway, he was an amazing man. On tour, he was welcomed on Broadway as the funniest man on earth. He formed a cricket team. They were called the Dainties. You should look into this. And that included some of the most celebrated actors of the day. He even founded a newspaper, which circulated like 350,000 copies. And he was adored by the royal family. So in 1901, he gave a private solo performance at Sandringham for Edward VII's reign. And he said, the Princess of Wales was going to shake hands with me when she looked at my face and couldn't do it for some time because she laughed so much. I wasn't intending to look funny. I really was trying to look dignified and courtly. He then became known as the King's Jester.
Spreading the joy.
It's honestly,
Sounds
it's
like
a
worthy of a
fantastic
movie.
story.
It
really does. Page 27 in the Times. Really good, really kind of interesting kind of history of drag artistry.
Yeah, interesting. And being a jester, you know, because you can trace those back.
Made a real fortune with it.